So at any rate, I have my 40. I'm working in the garden. He has his fifth of what could possibly be considered legal white lightning. And he goes next door and hangs out with the neighbor. Perfectly okay with me. I have peace. I have time to myself. He decides to hang out with the neighbor all day long. I'm working in the garden, laying in the sun, tending to myself, and I walk over to the neighbors, and neither the neighbor nor he is there. So I call his phone, and I'm like, where are you? You know, I'm getting ready to make dinner. I need to know where you are, when you're going to be home, what you're doing, are you still with the neighbor, blah, 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 normal. He says, we're up here at the service station. I'm trying to buy weed with the pills that I got from my grandmother today. And we're waiting on this guy to come back. We, meaning himself and the neighbor, are waiting on this guy to come back and deliver our weed. So I start to make dinner. In the meantime, as I'm making dinner, time passes, time flies. I work in the garden while I'm making dinner. Blah, 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 blah. And 45 minutes have just flown by. And I call his phone again, and I'm like, where are you? I'm making dinner, and dinner will be ready in a minute. Are you going to come home and eat, baby? And he proceeds to tell me that they are still at the service station waiting on this person to deliver his marijuana. I said, well, you need to get home. It's obvious that this individual is not going to return. It has been 45 minutes. I am no drug dealer, but I do know that it does not take 45 minutes for somebody to excavate this town and get from one side of it to the next. No. So I said, would you please come home, because I'm in the process. Dinner is almost finished. I've had my fill of sunshine. I've had my fill of working in the garden. Just come home so we can hang out and have a nice dinner and watch a movie. Come home and find something for us to watch while we relax. You know, just relax. He's like, well, okay, I'm on my way home. Another 30 minutes pass. And I text his phone, and I'm like, if you think this behavior is going to fly, it's not. Because I've already set parameters for you starting over with me, and this is not going to happen. I'm not going to tolerate you going up the street and buying drugs. That in itself upset me. Because that reminded me of our old relationship. That's all he ever fucking did. I have paid his debts off to 1, 2, 3, at least 3 houses of drug dealers around here that I can recall. And it's probably more than that. I would say it would be up to 5 people that I have paid his debts off so they do not beat his ass. I want him to be safe. He's a good person. If he could get off of all of this shit, he would be a great person. He is a great person. At any rate, when I texted him, he said, I'm at the house. I'm right here in the driveway. I'm at the neighbor's house again. So I was like, okay, well, would you please come in here and eat and find a movie to watch? I go sit on the back porch and finish the 40 that I bought. And this, mind you, has been hours since we even went to the store. We went to the store at like noon, 12:30 in the afternoon. And this, mind you, is around 3:45, 4 p.m. So he comes back to the house. I'm sitting on the back steps of my home, and he proceeds to tell me that this black guy, that they were supposed, they, meaning he and the next door neighbor, he proceeds to tell me that he and this black guy, or he and the roommate, had given the pills that they'd been given by, or given, that he had been given from his grandmother, and the pills that he stole from his grandmother on top of that had been stolen by this black dude who was supposed to bring his weed to him. And I said to him, "You should know better than to trust anybody in this town. How many of your debts have I paid off to save your life, to keep these people from beating the shit out of you?" That didn't sit well with him at all. He does not care how much money I've had to spend to save his life, because he's not spending it himself. He's a fucking drug addict, and it's that simple. He is enraged by the fact that this guy stole his pills. And I'm being enraged. So he gets up, and I have this shovel that I just bought in the backyard, beside the garden, because my garden is in my backyard. And he starts banging it up against the side of the house. And I said, "Baby, I just bought that shovel. Would you please put it down? Let's go in the house. Let's eat dinner. Let's watch a movie. We'll deal with him stealing your pills later." Of course, I have no idea how we're going to deal with that, because I know in my mind that it's never going to be returned. His pills will never be returned. Which aren't even his pills, because they're not prescribed to him. At any rate, I said, "Please just calm down. Let's go in the house and we'll figure everything out." That was not acceptable at all. At this point, he proceeds to tell me that he will get his drugs, he will get his pills back, blah, 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 threat after threat. Pardon me. I do apologize, that was another roommate. I'm still trying to rent another room in my house so that I can have a stable life. At any rate, he proceeded to tell me, not the person that I was just on the phone with, but I'm going back to what I was saying before, that he will get his medicine. And I said, "Please just come in the house, let's watch a movie, calm down, we'll deal with the situation in a rational manner." It's that simple. You don't have to blow things out of proportion. If your pills got stolen, you stole them to fucking begin with, so it doesn't really matter. Just get over it. He decides on his very own that he's going to walk off to take a breather. An hour and 15 minutes passes. He's still gone. By this time, dinner is on the stove. I have started to eat dinner on my own because I know where this will lead. It's going to lead to him doing some drug that I do not approve of, and coming back into my home and causing drama with me. That is a complete understatement, because I never in my life expected what was going to happen to happen. At this point, it had been 2 to 3 times in a week that I had set his things out on my porch, because he does not live in my home. I told him he would not live in my home again until he straightened up. I set his things on my porch. Previously, numerous times, all neat, all folded. This day was totally different. I was enraged because I had found sexually explicit, sexually deviant pornography on my computer. And by sexually deviant, I mean I came across some things that he had downloaded on my computer that was a woman having sexual intercourse with a dog, and a woman having sexual intercourse with a horse. Okay, fine, to each his own, but it was very disturbing to me to know that this person that I care deeply for cannot come out of his own ass long enough to realize that when he promised me that we were going to be better this time, we were going to be a couple this time, I believed him. I firmly believed him. But I was not going to attach myself to that kind of situation until he proved to me that it was going to be better. And when I found that on my computer, I knew then that it wasn't going to be better. But I could overlook it. To each his own. It's that simple. I overlooked it. What upset me the most on the 23rd of this month was the fact that I called his phone and I said, "Baby, would you please come home? I have made dinner. I am eating dinner. I don't know where you are. You decided to walk off. I am in the process of watching television and eating dinner, and then I'm going to go to bed because I have to work in the morning. Would you please come home and just spend time with me?" No. He hangs the phone up on me. I'm in the process of trying to hang up on the phone because he is in a drug-induced state. He decides to call me a drama queen on the phone to these people, whoever it is that he's hanging out with, which I know exactly who it is he was hanging out with, because they are one of the people that I have paid former debts off to because of him. And I told them not to provide him with any more drugs, which, by the way, is marijuana and crack cocaine and crystal meth. And that is what they have provided him with, and I've had to pay for in the past. I just overlooked the whole situation. I went on about my business. I ate 3/4 of my meal that I had prepared for the both of us. And I was watching television, and I proceeded to go into the kitchen and wash dishes, and had the intention of coming into my bedroom and going to sleep, which did not happen. And I will elaborate that further. At any rate, to elaborate further, I got it in my mind, and I've had it in my mind, actually, since we got back together. I have set boundaries and set boundaries and set boundaries, and they are the same boundaries over and over and over and over again for 2 weeks on and off, I have set these same boundaries, and I have said this is not going to fly. And when you have overstepped those boundaries, you are going to have to leave my home. I've dealt with your bullshit before. I'm not going to put up with it again. I was a basket case before because of you, and I'm not going to do that again. I have had a myriad of positive relationships. I have had a stable life since this individual has been out of my life. And it is since December 14th of last year. And on April 7th, he decides to show back up of this year. And all of a sudden, shit starts to go downhill again. No. I was perfectly stable. I had my life in order. I have had relationship after relationship intentionally on my part because I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody for the specific reason that I do not want to get wrapped up in this situation that I'm about to be wrapped up into again.